Hi, this is Sophia Cartman, host of Dream Big podcast show, place to learn, laugh, and grow.
And this is Olga Cartman. Welcome to the Dream Big podcast.
Big dreamers, welcome to another exciting episode of the Dream Big podcast. This isn't just any episode. We're taking you on an unforgettable journey today. Make sure to put on your explorer hats, because we're about to embark on a wild adventures to, wait for it, Alaska!
That's right. Your very own Sophia has just returned from remarkable adventures in the beautiful, mysterious lands of Alaska. From cruising the icy waters to dog-sledding on glistening glaciers, flying on a helicopter and kayaking in the icy cold lake, seeing grizzly bear and wolves, Sophia's stories are filled with thrills, chills, and unforgettable moments. So stay tuned till the very end and learn invaluable life lessons through Sophia's eyes. This is episode 364 of the Dream Big podcast, and it's time
to dream big!
Welcome to the Dream Big podcast show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Welcome back, big dreamers. Whether you're listening in your cozy bedroom or on the way to school or during a family road trip, get ready for a journey on a vast wilderness of Alaska. Let's get surrounded by the chilly landscapes, fascinating creatures, and valuable life lessons that I got on my recent cruise. But before we dive into our adventure, let me remind you that very soon I'll be publishing my first vlog on our YouTube channel, and it will be about Alaska. So please go ahead and subscribe. You'll find the link in the description on this podcast episode below, or simply type Dream Big Podcast in the YouTube or YouTube Kids, and you'll see me and Eva's faces on the picture of our channel. Turn on the notifications and give us huge thumbs up. So let's dream big together. All right, now back to adventures. As you already know, my family embarked on a thrilling adventure to Alaska a couple of weeks ago. Our journey started from Seattle on a jaw-droppingly gigantic cruise ship. Before we set sail, we went to a couple of action-packed days, exploring Space Needle, roaming around the busy food market. I almost got lost, and mind-blowing exhibits from the Pop Culture Museum. And we saw the dreamy Chihuly Garden in glass. But the day we stepped onto the cruise ship was the most memorable for me. I could hardly believe my eyes. Picture this, big dreamers. An 18-story high, hippo-like white giant that's more like a floating city than a ship. Me and my sister slept in the same cozy cabin with its very own balcony, and it was linked to my parents' room. My Bubby and Grandpa Allen's cabin was just a hop, skip, and a jump away, down the same hallway. And then there was a buffet, a foodie like me paradise. It was an endless taste, food raining from the sky, cookies, crepes, everything I always wanted. And it wasn't limited. All day, all night, foodie experience. And sometimes you didn't even have to leave the room. You could order on the app. It was the greatest experience of my life. I'm not exaggerating. Our days were filled with balcony views that seem straight out of a fairy tale. Landscapes of snowy mountains and sunsets. By the way, the sun doesn't set on that side of the world in summer till about 11 p.m. So my bedtime was pushed back. Oh yeah. So I went to bed about 10, 11, once 12. So yeah, it was pretty fun. We enjoyed fun music, fun shows every night, heart-thumping bingo games, where yours truly became a bingo queen, but that's a story for another episode. Stay tuned. And my favorite activity at all, comment down below what you think right now. But I think you know. It's swimming. Yes, on a cruise ship, on water, you get to swim on water. Isn't that funny? On the very top deck. So you get an amazing view when you're swimming. And that's where I made friends with most of the kids. I love being on a ship. When we reached Alaska, I was surprised by the warm sun kissing my face. I'd expect it to be a bit chilly. And even we brought all our ski clothes. We were so hot. We just got very lucky with weather. And there was not even a drop of rain there either, which was rare for a rainforest region to not rain. But the snowy mountain caps reminded us that we were in the land of cold winter wildlife. Kayaking in a lake surrounded by snowy mountains and a jeep ride through the wilderness was fun. Helicopter ride and dog-sledding on the icy glaciers was an absolute blast. Imagine wishing through a world of glittering snow with a team of happy huskies. I even got to hold a cute husky puppy who was so cute. And I even got a name suggestion for him. I named him Cookies and Cream because he was black and he had white and he looked like cookies and cream to me. So I hope that's what they're going to name him. The wildlife was simply amazing. I got to meet a rescued grizzly bear that could have been straight out of the Goldilocks tale. The owner of the sanctuary fed him some porridge, and he was very happy about that. And the other helper walked a wolf on a leash. I got so close to him. Check out the pictures on our Instagram. Every moment of the adventure, every creature, a new friend, and I have more details and stories to tell you on upcoming episodes and show you all the details in our upcoming vlog on YouTube. So if you are like me and you probably love visual too, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and you'll see the cute little puppy's face. Now, speaking of bears and mountains, I have a couple jokes for you actually. Silly Sophia's back. What do Alaskan bears wear on their feet when they go for a walk in the forest?
What?
They're barefoot. Why don't you ever play hide and seek with the Alaskan mountains?
Why?
Because they always peek.
Those are cool jokes. Thank you, silly Sophia.
You're welcome.
Big Dreamers, the reason we chose to talk about travels and adventures today, not only to get you up to speed what we've been up to, but also hopefully inspire you to dream bigger and look at adventures from a different perspective. You see, too many people in the world get used to their comfortable homes, their routines of daily life, and it is uncomfortable to get outside and experience something new. Big Dreamers, the reason we chose to talk about travels and adventures today is not only get you up to speed what we've been up to, but also hopefully inspire a lot of you to look at adventures and travels from a different perspective. I know so many people who just love the comfort of their home and they don't want to travel. They don't want to leave their home. They don't want to go anywhere new. Some of you prefer to go to places that you already been many times because it just looks very familiar. But today, I want you to imagine yourself as a new person who loves exploring all things new, who loves the unknown, who loves to find solutions from any situation. Because travels and adventure actually help you to do just that. At least this is what it does for our family. It helps us grow and get out of our comfort zone. Adventures in travel can help us, first of all, learn through new experiences. It's like submerging ourselves into a new reality game that has touch and smell and feelings. Everything is new, and our brain starts working in a way that it never has been before. All of a sudden, you see so many different scenarios around that you haven't been exposed to before. Navigating through new streets or towns, meeting new people, maybe tasting new food, new currency, maps, new landscapes. It's like creating your own movie and being a main character in it. Do you agree? Travel and adventure definitely promotes problem-solving skills. How to pack, what to take, and what to do if you didn't pack something you need. It helps develop your critical thinking, and being flexible is a big part of it because you never know what's going to happen during your adventure. You have to stay flexible and open to many possibilities, and of course to stay curious. Curiosity is a very important component of intellectual growth. When you go on trips to new places, make sure you ask a lot of questions and learn new things. For example, on our cruise through one of our educational lectures on the ship, we learned so much about wildlife of Alaska. Even before we stepped on the land of Alaska, we learned about orcas, bears, salmon, a bald eagle, and many more other animals. Something, of course, that you can learn nowadays through the internet, but it's much more fun to learn it and see it through your own eyes.
Number 2. Through travels and adventures, through traveling, we get more global awareness and cultural understanding. For example, in Alaska, I had to get used to how much daytime there was. I loved it because I always got to see the beautiful view outside and all the wonderful things. But also it made me be grateful for having so much sunlight in our area because in fall and winter, Alaska is very dark and cold. And it's mostly nighttime all day long.
Number 3. Adventures in travel inspire our curiosity and creativity. New experiences and environments definitely stimulate our imagination, and that leads to more creativity. Sometimes we go to places where we don't speak their language, and we are forced to be creative in expressing ourselves. Or, for example, million questions and stories pop up in our brain during our trip, and that fosters innovative thinking and lifelong love for learning and adventure. Am I right, big dreamers? Well, this is all great here, right? You might say, well, Sophia's adventure sounds awesome, but what if I don't have lots of time or money to do it? And I would like to address the myth here. Here's the fun part. You don't always need those to have an adventure. Yes, of course, it's easier when you have money, and let it be one of your motivations to do well in life and make a lot of money so you can spend it on your travels and adventures. But if you are in a situation right now where you don't have much money, real adventures often start right at home or right in your neighborhood. You could turn your backyard into jungle for a day with wild, imaginary or not, animals to observe, rare plants to discover, insects. How about being an archaeologist in the local park? Or a simple deacon unearth ancient artifacts, otherwise known as everyday objects? Or why not try being a space explorer indoors with the lights off, flashlight, maybe a tent in the middle of your living room? And that can become even your spaceship one day. Navigating through a universe of stars, glow-in-the-dark stickers on the ceiling, and many, many more. Your challenge for today, big dreamers: talk to your parents and create a week-long adventure. Even at home, even in your living room, you can create a scavenger hunt. You can go on adventures in Alaska, Egypt, Greece, Spain, and many other countries right there in your living room and your backyard. Just be creative, be curious. If you cannot hop on the plane tomorrow, it's okay. You can be curious and adventurous right at home as well. Trust me, big dreamers, adventure isn't just about fancy trips. It's a state of mind. So open your eyes, unleash your imagination, and you'll discover incredible adventures waiting for you, wherever you are. And I will be the first one to cheer you on this because I spent my childhood in the chilly wilds of Siberia. A place very much like Alaska, so I did feel home when I visited Alaska. And while I didn't have a lot of money or travel opportunities, and we were growing up in the country that was closed from other countries, it's called Soviet Union, and it was communist country, so meaning our borders were closed. We're not allowed to leave the country. But my tales that I tell my kids are endless. Adventures and thrills every single day. For example, when we were little, we were building hideouts in the forest. We were great archaeologists, and we would go and dig by the river and found different objects or studied plants. Sometimes not through a fun way, because we had fights with a stinging nettle during our play fights with boys in our neighborhood. And how about river rafting? We didn't have fancy boats. We had old tires that our parents blew up for us, and we would go up the river and float back until we reached our homes. Absolutely fun. And we did have adults, sometimes present, sometimes older siblings, and it was a blast. And it didn't require a lot of money. We didn't have fancy foods, but our parents grew food in the yard. So we would go and pick cucumbers and tomatoes and strawberries and raspberries, and that was our fancy lunch.
And then there was the grand adventure where she went driving 5 hours to a salty, stinky lake. And it's not glamorous, but the journey it filled. Laughter, anticipation, and the beauty of nature all around. But the funny thing was, you couldn't even go underwater. The salt was so concentrated, if you tried to go underwater, it would just float you right back up.
Yes, this was equivalent of our Dead Sea in Israel. It was a salty, salty lake. All these experiences, big dreamers, those local adventures right in my backyard helped me foster a sense of curiosity and fearlessness. All the things we did, jumping, climbing, running, and knowing all the games that kids could play outdoors. And guess what? This adventure spirit didn't just stay in Siberia. It led me across the world all the way to America. And the rest is history. If this wouldn't be for those stinky lakes and adventures in my backyard, I would never probably know the wonders of the world. That's the spirit I developed when I was little, when we didn't have any money to spend on any adventures. And my most exciting adventure was to that stinky lake. I remember once or twice in my childhood. So it wasn't even every summer because my parents were hardworking people. So remember, big dreamers, adventures don't always need a big budget or an exotic location or a big fancy ship that my kids are lucky to experience. Sometimes they just need a big imagination and an open heart. And who knows where they might take you.
And I have a perfect poem for you that should end this adventure on a great note. In a world of wild and whimsy free, there's so much fun and so much to see. From the tippy top, a peak of a mountain tall, to the depths of the ocean, where the dolphins call. Oh, the places you'll go! Oh, the things you'll find when you venture out and don't mind the grind. You'll meet creatures quirky and landscapes vast. You'll collect memories. Oh, what a blast! You might find yourself in the rainforest dense, or maybe where the deserts and camels immense. Perhaps in a glacier, cold and white, or in a cave away from the sunlight. Will you hike through Alaska, wild and lush, or amend city streets in the evening hush? Will you sail Siberian rivers deep and wide, or climb a volcano's rocky side? Every step is a story, every turn is a verse, in the grand old tale of the wide universe. You may go far, you may stay near. In the realm of adventure, there's nothing to fear. So lace up your boots, put on your hat, grab courage and imagine that with every sunrise and under every star, adventure is waiting, no matter where you are.
And there you have it. Thank you, Sophia, so much for such an amazing poem and your memories that you put together in this podcast. From the icy terrains of Alaska to my adventurous childhood in Siberia, we've journeyed through thrilling tales and learned a very important lesson, right, big dreamers? Can you name it? What is it? That's right. Adventure is exciting. Adventure is less about where you are or how much you spend, and more about how you see the world around you. It's about the thrill of exploration, the joy of curiosity, and the fun of immersing ourselves in new experiences, wherever they are in our backyards or in a far-off land. Let's keep that adventure spirit alive. Nurture our curiosity and remember, every day can be an expedition, an awesome adventure that we call life.
Big dreamers, it was impossible to fit all of our adventures into one episode, but the next episode will put some more adventures.
And until our next episode and next adventure, dream big, stay curious, and always be ready for a journey. Remember, big dreamers, if you like this episode, please tell your friends and family. And of course, leave us your review. It really helps us to get more big dreamers joining our community. Remember, the show notes for this episode will be through the link dreambigpodcast.com/364. You can find all the links we mentioned in the description of this episode and also in our show notes. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find the link in the description below or in our show notes, or just simply type in Dream Big Podcast on YouTube Kids or YouTube and you'll see Sophia's first vlog from Alaska. And everything she mentioned today, you'll see it right there. Her favorite foods, the little puppy, our adventure in helicopter and kayaking, and many, many more. Remember your challenge of this week. Create your own adventures in the backyard, in your living room, anywhere you are. And please tell us all about it through email, olga@dreambigpodcast.com, through writing a review for this podcast, or on any of our social media channels. We will be waiting for your stories.
Because this is Sophia Cartman
And Olga Karpman,
reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional. You need to make them essential. So take massive action. Turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion the way life was meant to be. See you in the next episode. Bye.